Literally not again. No, dude. She do be making them funny grunts. decide whether you're gonna be in here or out there. Just stay in here. That's it. Cutie. You want out? If you want out, you have to stay out there. Dad has to keep his door shut. Go. Either go or stay. We're not doing this right now. Okay? Dad's trying to stream. Yeah. I'm trying to stream, little turdy tot. It says that it's disabled, but... Tootie, don't you dare. If you scratch at the door, you're gonna go in timeout. Fine. You want out? Go. Go.
She just kind of like tried to run out, and then she just kind of ran out, and then just went like.
Yeah, she's just a turd. She's just a turd. So it says that I have chat here. But it says in here that it's disabled. Interesting. Under customization, check the live chat box. Okay, well.
I'm trying to cut out carbs for at least 3 months. and I'm forgetting how much I actually eat when I do not eat carbs.
Dude, it's insane. Like, I
eat or see now. I eat like 4 slices.
Yep. Yeah. No, I did that for a little while, but I couldn't keep up with it. My poos, legendary.
Well, for me, like, I generally like feel great when I do eat carb. But the second I eat any kind of carb, I am shitting myself.
Fix my mic output. Does that help at all? That looks like it did help. I'm gonna bring this down to about right there. Yeah. Interesting. Turn you back up. Oh, okay. There we go. Oh, yeah, that looks a ton better. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yep, now we're staying in the green. Now we're staying in the green. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Alright. So I don't know if you can actually hear me, but I'm trying to figure out the settings for my stream as well. This run, it's going alright. I haven't been doing too bad. What about right there? Is that better? Turn the game down quite a bit more. I'm also pretty quiet when it comes to just how I talk. Is that any better? Or, yeah, I'm trying to fix settings and stuff like that while I'm playing, so. Jeez. Alright. We're just gonna turn this down to like 2. Oh, sweet. Awesome. Sweet. Let's go. But, yeah. It's not going bad. I do have a mod on that gives me the Tinker with Wands everywhere because, as I said, I am a noob. So, you know. But, this is the loadout that I'm using. I'm just using this for extra space. But it's not going too bad. I've definitely had worse runs. So. Oh, dang it. Yeah, it didn't matter anyway. Where did that come from? Yeah, no, this wand, I usually don't get this lucky. I want to say I've seen more wands on this run than I usually do in any of my other runs. Usually when I'm playing, I'm starving for wands, which thankfully this time I'm not. So it's a pretty good sign, I would say. Hey, it didn't go straight towards me that time. Shoot. Oh no. Oh, we'll make it. We'll make it. We'll make it. No, we won't. That's how Noita goes. New game. Okay, Sparkbolt's not bad. Usually if I get like the bouncing bolt, I'll restart because I hate bouncing bolts. And I'm not a huge... Oh, I have the TNT, not the red crystals. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I I have more runs that fall apart than that make it anywhere. But I've also only played this game for probably about 100 hours or so. So, you know, I can't expect myself to be like Dunker Slam or Fury Forged or anyone like that. So, you know, I don't have the movement down or anything like that, and I've actually recently been playing a lot of Shiv too, so I haven't played Noita in probably two or three weeks, I'd say. So I'm just kind of getting back into it as well. But yeah, I enjoy this game. It's one of those games that even if I'm not doing well at it, I still have a lot of fun with it. It's, you know, very open world, very sandboxy. I mean, it's a sandbox game, so you'd hope for that. But yeah. And usually it falls apart in the easy base for me every time. I think I have 5 wins, and I can attribute 4 of those 5 wins. I could probably check on Steam, but I want to say it's like I have like 120 hours at the most in this game. I've gotten 5 wins. The 5 wins that I have gotten, though, I have to say it's been attributed to watching, I think it was Fury Forged, that he showed me, or not just me, but made a video showing people where you could get the machine gun, the Hisi machine gun wand, and I tried it a few times, and every time I get it, I'm pretty stoked with it. So, like, I can't complain when I lose. Come on, just go down, dude. Just die. There we go. We got him. We got him. Right. Oh. I always forget that. Oh, I should have just waited for that to burn out. That's what I get for being impatient. I guess we'll take it. We'll actually just flip all that into there. Remove that. We'll get rid of that wand. That wand is crap. Oh. Oh, yep, that's not water. Oh no, I'm on fire. And of course there's no water around. Oh. Alright, we gotta tighten up a little bit now. We've gotta tighten up a little bit now. We're playing a little too loose. Ooh, actually, let's go see if we can find another flask to go fill up with water. Kinda like having pheromone on me. But anyway, thanks for stopping by, Tagswell. Oh yeah. So as I said, I don't have a bunch of hours into this, and there we go. There's our other flask we asked for. The biggest game changer, yeah, was figuring out how to use the pheromone on the Hisi base guys, so you can not have to rely so heavily on just, you know, the regular full health, full heals. Even though I still rely pretty heavily on them. But possibly if I can find a loony drill, I might go do my regular shenanigans of taking forever to go get the what is the experimental wand, because I love playing with that experimental wand, having the always cast of the bullets and being able to just rip through everything is so much fun. But I also enjoy making my own machine gun wands. I do really like that. No, we'll grab it. Screw it. We ball. Oh, you know what? Fine. You win. You win, spitter guy. Yes, there we go. See if we can go get a little bit more money before we get out of here. Yeah, and Hisi base is usually where my runs fall apart. Even as you saw, when I have a good wand, usually I freak out and I'm like, oh no, there's so many things, and then you have the CEOs or whatever you call them that keep spawning guys in, and then they die and they spawn like 3 of them in at once, and usually that's what gets me. So I see a lot of enemies and then I'm like, oh no, and then I run into, like, you know, the freezing, the propane or the freezing gas or whatever. Also, what kills me is I like shooting the things that explode, and then the propane tanks, they fly back at you, and then explode right in your face, which I always find that amusing more so than, like, aggravating, just because one day one day I swear they're gonna put in the patch notes. If the devs ever come back, they're gonna put in the patch notes, makes it so propane tanks no longer heat seek the player. Even though I know that's not how it works. But I usually play without the tinker everywhere, so I play pretty slow and try to save all my mountains and set up healer stations to each of them. Oh wow, you definitely think a lot more long game than I do. I'd like to get to the point where I can be like, okay.
So it turns out
I'm streaming right now, just to let you know.
okay, let me say as many as possible.
No. I'd like to get to a point where I can, I kind of like that. Where I can play more thinking towards, like, you know, the god runs and stuff like that. Yeah, that was my roommate. I had to make sure. I swear he doesn't just say slurs. I swear. It's just, you know, it's the joke. He's a bouncer in a bar, so he has to deal with a lot of awful things like that. But I'd like to get to a point in this game that I can think further than just, okay, I just want to beat the game. Like, I want to learn the deeper mechanics and all of that stuff, but it's, you know, it's a pretty difficult game. So I'm just, right now, trying to get the basics down. I really want that chainsaw, but at the same time... you know what? Yeah, we'll buy it. We'll do something like that. Let's see how... that's not the greatest. If we did that. You know, that's a little bit faster. I need to do a lot more wand tinkering and stuff, because usually I'm very much like, I know that this one thing works, so I'm just gonna keep doing that one thing. Oh, actually, here we go. Oh, that's only a 3. That was actually kind of stupid of me to do. But you know what? That's what we'll do. And I recently just started playing with the mod that gives you tinkering with wands everywhere, because I usually I can find, you know, not in this first area, but in the second area, find a tele wand and then do the trick where you keep the holy mountains intact. But I also find that not boring per se, but I find it tedious to, you know, go out into it and then backtrack and then go back out into it and then backtrack and then go back out into it and backtrack. So it's, you know, it's not like I'm unable to do it. Oh, there we go. I think that's... I think that might be a ticket. Throw those up in there. Just this. Yeah, that's a 1. You know what? Not what I meant to do. We'll do that. View back there. And we'll just see. Ooh, no. We'll just throw you out too. We'll just throw all that stuff out. Ooh, stronger hearts. I think that's the one we're gonna take. Okay, yeah, that's a pretty solid one. No longer to do things in this game, so I don't mind. I can understand not wanting to deal with all the tedious stuff. Yeah, and it's not that I don't like it. It's that, you know, I'm getting back into it again, so, you know, I'm still trying to regain my bearings. So I think, you know, if I do end up streaming tomorrow at some point, I will probably turn that mod off. Just so, because don't get me wrong, like the mods of this game make this game better, but it's a really, really good game just as is. Like this is probably like it's probably my favorite like full-on single-player game, because I've played tons and tons and tons of games. Oh yeah, we like to see that. We like to see that. Yeah, there we go. I'm also a bigger fan of the triggers over the timers. I've heard that some people like the timers over the triggers, and I just have never been in a situation where the timers have been nicer to me, I guess you could say. Picking up some more max health is always nice. But it's, like, I think once I get better at it, too, better at this game, and, you know, understand the wand mechanics, because that's one of the things that I struggle with, is, like, what makes a good wand. And part of that's probably because I'm impatient, and I'm just like, oh, I want a fast wand, and I have a hard time forcing myself to learn, or to read and to learn exactly what every spell does. And I'm also a fairly casual gamer with most of the games that I play. Like, I don't spend too much time investing. Oh no. In mechanics of games, just because, like, don't get me wrong, it's fun to learn the games and stuff, but sometimes it feels like I shouldn't be wasting all that much time on learning a game, because there are more important things to do. But like I do enjoy learning the mechanics, especially in this game, because there's so many weird little things that you can do. Honestly, I think it'd probably take you longer to do things in this. Oh, okay. I already wrote down. But this, like, as I said, this is probably the best single-player game that I've, like, ever come across. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I love Half-Life. Half-Life 2 is an amazing game. Black Mesa is an amazing game. But this one has so much capability, and there's so much in this game that I still haven't explored, that I just haven't had the gusto to explore, I guess you could say. Like, I eventually, of course, want to get down into hell, and I want to go up into heaven as well. Like, I haven't explored that at all, really. Like, I've been out towards, like, around the power plant and stuff like that. But, of course, I get over there, I'm like, oh, like, this isn't too bad, and then I don't know the names of the enemies, but some of the enemies will just come out of nowhere and just mollywop me. It's like, well, maybe I should have, And that's one of, like, my favorite things is, you know, at 160 hours or even at 100 hours, like, most games at that point, you know, you've seen most of it. Like, you know, you beat the game, yada, yada, yada. But in Noita, it's like, yeah, you can beat the game, but there are so many different variations on beating the game. Like the orbs that, like, I think the orbs are probably one of my favorite mechanics in the game. Like, I think I've gotten 3, I've done a 3 orb run before, and that was very, very interesting. Like, getting the knowledge. get sniped. So the run that I got the 3 on that I won, that was when I went and got the Hisi experimental one, and I think the last run that I won was the first run that I didn't spend, an hour and a half trudging through trying to get the that Hisi wand. And that was probably the only one that I felt like, oh yeah, I've actually accomplished something. But that was also a 0 orb run, so it was, it was pretty easy to go kill Colmy, however you say the quote-unquote final boss's name. But, it's all about practice. The more you play, the more you're going to get better at it. Just like in everything that you do. And, like, I have the Noita map up. And, so, I have a little bit of a direction. Ooh. A little store with nothing that I want in it. Dang. I think the ones, so I've gotten, of course, the orb that's just above the mountain that, you spawn basically underneath. I've gotten the one that's at the top of the pyramid, and then I think I got the one that is just past the lava by the bridge boss. But I can't remember if that was the one that I got when I won. I can't remember. Maybe it was... I'm having a hard time remembering which ones that I got. But, yeah, that's, they all have a caveat when you grab them. Or at least the ones that you don't normally... Or at least the ones that are harder to go after. So, like, I've died to the bridge boss, I can't remember how many times now. So I'm like, oh, I have a halfway decent one, and I always forget, you need a little bit better than a halfway decent one to deal with him. And I usually get, like, one tapped by him, so it's like, well, okay. And, one day he'll be easy for me. But until that day comes, until I get a little bit better at the game, I'll probably just stick to just easy, regular runs. Not worrying about going after the really intensive stuff. Going after god runs and such. How do you like that? Throw you in there. Alright. That's not horrible, but at the same time, that's not great. Anything? Okay. So that's Castellane. Okay. Kind of like the top toxic immunity. But I'm not... you know what? Ooh. High mana look. I don't know. We'll take the Breathless. Yeah, I think Breathless is going to be the best option for us. Usually when I get a run strong enough to do some challenge, I just kind of screw around until I die before. yeah, that makes sense. That's one of the things that I really like about the game too, is just being able to, you don't even have to really have a direction when you play this game. You can do whatever you want. Like, it's not even, like, as I said, I just have fun playing this game. It's an interesting game. It's not like most other single player games where, like, think of single player games, you think of like Baldur's Gate, or wow, I'm blanking really hard on other single player games. I've been playing a lot of multiplayer games with friends recently, but like Baldur's Gate, jeez. I guess you could even count Minecraft technically as a single player game. Like, the way I usually play it is single player. But I'm gonna stay away from that. Or Oblivion. One of my other roommates, he started playing Oblivion recently. And, like, don't get me wrong, those games are all, not every Bethesda game, but, like, not Baldur's Gate, Oblivion and Skyrim are great single-player games, but there's not as much to them as there is with Noita. Like the fact that it's this amazing sandbox game, where every pixel is, not rendered, but, what's the word? Simulated, there we go. Like, having every pixel simulated, I think that just, like, it made me want to get this game more. And the fact, another single player game that I really enjoyed that's not quite as sandboxy as this, but it's still pretty sandboxy, is this one called Caves of Cud. And that game, I was pretty well addicted to that game for a while. That game, like, it's a totally different premise than this. Like, it's basically, it's kind of, like, I don't want to spoil the game for you, but it's like it's kind of like D&D, where, like, you have so much movement, and you have, like a main story that you're following, but it's also, like, every time, things are randomly generated, quests are randomly made, and stuff like that, so every time you play, because it's a roguelite, or roguelite, I can't remember which one is which. Oh, dude, okay, so, like, as I said, I'm trying not to spoil anything for you. It is probably the best roguelite, I don't know which one it's considered, that I've ever played. So it's very difficult to get into, or I shouldn't say it's difficult to get into, it's difficult to, like, start getting the mechanics of it. So, like, the way that, like, your armor value and, like, your dodge value and, like, the money in that game, the way that it works, like, when you first get into it, it's going to be a lot like Noita is, where it's like, what the heck am I doing? But it is such a great game. Like, it is one of my favorite games. And what got me into Caves of Cud was actually Dwarf Fortress, because I was wanting to do adventure mode on Dwarf Fortress, and I was waiting. I had been playing the beta and stuff like that, and was waiting for, the beta for it to come out. So I ended up picking up Caves of Cud, and then the adventure mode beta came out and I ended up just playing Caves of Cud because it was like it's a solely adventure game. Like you're not I guess you can build bases and stuff like that. Like I've built a base or two in my day. But it's a lot more about like you trying to figure out what's going on within the world. And like, you know, you have your main story quests and stuff like that. But there are a lot of quests that you can just find that are like, oh, you need to go to this like historic site and find this specific item. And like sometimes it's really easy to go and do those side quests, and sometimes those side quests are so brutal that they're almost, I wouldn't say not worth it, but they're so difficult that you have to be like constantly thinking 20 turns ahead of the enemies that you're facing. And I really enjoyed it. I shouldn't say enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that game. It's probably because it's like, you know, you have your weight that you have to be constantly thinking of. You like the money in that game is water, so like you figure out pretty early on that you can't just sell all of your stuff for water, and you have to find different forms of holding money on you. So, like, it's not a spoiler, but one of the best things you can buy if you have just so much water are gems, because they weigh, like, I think it's like 1/10 of a pound or something like that, and they sell for, like 200 units of water. So it's really easy, or, like, that's on the low end of, like, how much they bring in. Oh, no. Oh no. Oh. Sniper. Get out of here. No, no. Oh. Should have been focusing on this instead of talking about Caves of Cut. Yeah, so I've got 5 wins. It doesn't say how many hours I've played, but you can see I've got way more deaths than I do wins, so. But we'll do another run. But yeah, I would recommend getting Caves of Cud. And I'm usually a proponent of waiting until a sale to get a game. But I would say Caves of Cud, even at the price that it's at, so I bought it when it was still before 1.0 was released. But I ended up buying like I think it's called the Dromad expansion or whatever, where it's not like it doesn't do anything to the game besides I think it allows you to get pets, which the pets don't do much for you. But I would totally recommend paying full price and even getting the Dromad expansion or whatever it's called, because it's worth it. Like that game, I've put so many hours into that game. I want to say that I have close to 500 hours in that game, and I'll admit I would say that it's not better than Dwarf Fortress, but it's different than Dwarf Fortress. Like, I love Dwarf Fortress, if you know what that game is. It's, Dwarf Fortress is probably my favorite game of all time. That's another single-player game. That's probably my favorite single-player game. I had a buddy get it for me, probably 2 or 3 years ago, and I have over 1,200 hours in that game. Like, I know that game. Not in and out, but I know that game pretty well. And I would say Caves of Cud is along the same lines of greatness as both Noita and Dwarf Fortress. And I think that that's pretty high praise. Because Dwarf Fortress is, like, Dwarf Fortress is the most complex game I've ever played. Like, this has a lot of, you know, stuff that you just need to have knowledge on. In Dwarf Fortress, like, this game's all knowledge, and Dwarf Fortress is all knowledge, but Dwarf Fortress knowledge goes, like, it goes deeper. Like, so that game has mechanics for like how to make soap, and like when you're like they recently added I think it's called like the myths. Oh, Dwarf Fortress is another one of those games that if you like Noita and you've been thinking about getting Caves of Cud, it's another one of those games you should get. However, I will say before you pull the trigger on either one of those games, I would just for Dwarf Fortress I would look up Blind IRL. He's probably, from what I know, he's one of the biggest Dwarf Fortress streamers, and he knows a lot about that game. He knows more about that game than probably I do. Well, more than I do for sure. He's been playing since before it was out on Steam, and that's when I got the game, was when it came out on Steam. So, like, I would say for both of them, just look up, like Caves of Cud, yada yada yada, or Dwarf Fortress gameplay, because Dwarf Fortress, so Caves of Cud is all about exploration and figuring out, or like exploring. Where Dwarf Fortress is, you can play it one of two ways. You can play it as an adventurer, so like you can go out and like you create a guy and you're able to walk around and do stuff like as one person, or you can play it where you're like taking care of a bunch of dwarves, like you're creating a settlement. It was the pioneer for like all the colony building games, and it was also a big inspiration for Minecraft. That's why, without Dwarf Fortress, we wouldn't have had Minecraft either, which I think that's pretty insane. But yeah, I recommend both of those games. I'd recommend... I'd say if you're more inclined to, like... If you're more inclined for exploration in games, I would say your better option would be playing Caves of Cud. But if you enjoy colony builders and such like that, I would say check out Dwarf Fortress first. Both are phenomenal games. I have my qualms with some of the mechanics and stuff like that, but you can't get mad at a game that for not being perfect. And it's still just a great game in general. Like, both of them, great games. I would personally lean towards Caves of Cud, or towards Dwarf Fortress, but that's because I like Dwarf Fortress more. But, as I said, both of them, phenomenal games. I think I've ran into more frustrations when it's come to Caves of Cud over Dwarf Fortress. Just because Caves of Cud is a lot more brutal. Like, both of them, don't get me wrong, can be very brutal. But I think Caves of Cud is a lot less forgiving. Just because, like, in all the times that I've played it, I've never... Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. We're on fire again. And, of course... Oh, here's some water. I prefer Dwarf Fortress over Caves of Cud, just in general. Because I've played it more. Like, as I said, I have over 1,200 hours in Dwarf Fortress, where I only have, like, around 500 hours in Caves of Cud, and I've basically done everything you can in Caves of Cud, where in Dwarf Fortress, it's a lot like Noita, where it's a bigger sandbox, so, you have the capacity to do more. And that's also why I like Noita, because you have such a big capacity in this game. There's so much to do in this game. So much to do. And I haven't even scratched the surface. Don't you dare get on me. Now we have some water. Of course. Play this. Take you. This one actually been better. But, what games do you play, Tags? Well, that didn't work out. Mostly just Noita, yeah. I understand that. Oh, well, I'm glad that you can enjoy that. I'm glad that I can provide some sort of entertainment for you. I mean, that's why I am streaming, right? Not just trying to stream for myself. Okay, I think that'll be good. Oh yeah, got him to get himself. Love it when that happens. You know what? I think we are just gonna clear this out for myself a little bit. We're a little low health. That's not a great one, but that does provide some digging at least. Oh, is that only through soft material? That must be. Yeah, I usually, for me, when it comes to like runs and stuff, what I do is I quit after, or like, after I die or something, I quit, because I hate coming into like the middle of a run and then being like, oh, where did I leave off at? And then usually it's like, oh no, I did not leave myself in the greatest position. None of these ones are really any. Oh, I don't even have enough for you, so. You know what? We want that because we want all of those. Yeah. Yeah, we like those. Ooh, explosion resistance. Let's go. Or immunity. Explosion immunity. Always a great thing to see. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it too. But usually what happens with me is I die and then I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go play a different game. Get a little salty, which I try not to because it's just a video game. But sometimes it gets a little frustrating. You're like, come on, I've been doing so good for this run and then I just go up and die. Or like, you know, something happens and you're like, ah, no. And they get angry, which, you know, as I said, I try not to get angry at a video game because it's just ones and zeros. It has no feelings. My gold. One thing I did learn recently that I don't know if you know about. Oh, I left this one early because the Hisi base was one of the most events with a bunch of witches and pipes. Make it. Oh. Yeah. So, I've got a fairly decent computer, and I've had that issue. I figured that, you know, what I've done. I'll even just show you in my options graphically. Yeah, my resolution. I keep my resolution really low. And I've noticed that helps a ton when it comes to the like leg spikes. But one thing. Okay, so we need to. Not as much as I thought it was. If you shake it. Okay, so yeah, I found out recently that if you put, I think it's slime slime into unstable teleportadium or chaotic poly, that it turns it into stable, or like, you know, regular poly or stable teleportadium. Which I thought that was pretty cool. It's one of the few reactions I've found out. Kaboom! Oh, I probably should have actually left that. Oh no. I wasn't thinking. We'll just go the other way. Don't you dare roll. Money, 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 money. Okay, let's see what you got. actually, yeah, that's decent for digging. It's gonna be the exact same. Ooh. Alright. This. Oh, wrong one. Okay. There we go. Don't fall into the lava. You better not have any friends with you. Okay. I don't know how I scraped myself out of that one, but we'll take it. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. No, 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 no. Oh, yeah. Look. Dang. You know what? I've actually never played with this one. Oh. Interesting. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll just take that for right now. There. Well. Dang. I think this needs to. I guess we'll just have to deal with that for right now. Dang. Haha. There we go. No, thank you. We didn't have a good enough one to deal with you. I also don't like you. What? How did that work? Mr. Worm. Come after me, Mr. Worm. Make my day. Now I'm a little scared, because I'm also not good at dealing with Mr. Steve, or worms for that matter of fact. Yeah, and it looks like Mr. Worm has more than likely broken all the way through the Holy Mountain, so this will be interesting. Oh, yep. This is the end. Well, I guess it wasn't quite the end. Ooh. Ooh, I like those spells. Yeah, barely. It's probably about time to just head into the mountain. Hey, as I like to say, 1 HP is still 1 HP. If you can 1 HP in a dream. Oh, that sucks. That's almost a good wand. Almost. Actually, no, I don't even have enough for it. I don't think I saw any tallies here. So, you know what? Tragic, yeah. Very, very tragic. But you know what? I'm gonna try and do the thing. Okay. Okay, here we go. What? That didn't kill him? No! No! That was supposed to kill him. Okay. We get him with this. There we go. Haha. This is what we'll do with it. Don't like any of the... Oh, that's okay. No, I don't want triplicate bolt. Yeah, I know that doesn't... Oh, oh, it's a 30. I should have looked at that beforehand. Oh well. I'll put on that. You know what? We'll just go through. There we go. Haha, there we go. That's halfway decent. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there, there are a lot of things that almost get me. There are a lot of things that do get me as well. I think my favorite, like, I guess it's not technically a glitch, but one of my favorite things about this game is the fact that you can just get stuck. I find it pretty funny when, like, you'll just be around doing stuff, or like when water freezes on you. I think that that's hilarious. You know, the funniest is there was one time that I was probably in an area about like this, and I was standing in the water and I had a free shot, and I could not get the stuff that was stuck by my head, or like in the middle of my chest where my cursor is, to break. So I was stuck there for probably about 15 minutes trying to break the ground around me, and it just would not break. I think I ended up on that run just saying, you know what, if I'm stuck, I'm stuck. I think I gave up on it. You know, get yourself with it. Come on. I know you want to get yourself. Yeah, throw another one. Come on. There we go. What? sucks. That one. Ooh. Dang it, another almost great wand. It's got some pretty decent spells on it, though. So we'll take you, toss you out, grab you. Okay, that's actually kind of fun. That's like a better version of Bouncing Bolt right there. That's... I should have thought about that. I'm too slow. You know, for a wand that just came out of nowhere, that's actually not bad at all. I might be getting a little too greedy at this point, but... you know what? Actually... we don't need that anymore. That's a no shuffle 2 cast. So I guess don't want that. Liquid detonation, don't want that. Essence to power, not huge on that one either. Put that there. Put that there. Alright. That's what we do. Double cast these. Double cast these. No wands again. Oh, I almost forgot. Mr. Steve is out. Oh. That's where I was going wrong. I think. Yeah. It's not the best of the best, but that should do, I think. Yeah, I like that. Hook, bolt. I've never seen that before. Hook that pulls. Caster towards. Oh, probably don't want that. Ooh, there we go. That's a real good one. Oh no, I've been trapped. There we go. Dang. I really don't want to put Terry in there though, because I don't know when it's going to shoot. Oh, that worked out that time. Sweet. What? Where did that come from? Where did that fire come from? Nice. This looks like a little bit of a wormhole. The little buggers. huge fan of the vertical barrier. I usually end up almost killing myself with that. But this mini tree is pretty sick. No, no, no. Get out of there. Okay, time to leave. Time to leave. Time to leave. Time to leave. Maybe we can... Nah, we're not gonna chance it. We're not gonna chance it. Not worth. Alright. Wow. Ooh. That's actually not bad, is it? Oh. Holy cow. I can't believe that actually worked. So, put a triple cast one. Ooh. Actually, yeah, we'll do that. Okay. 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 I like that. Yeah. Yeah, that was... I mean, I think that the energy shield sector and my projectile repulsion field also kept me alive during that, because usually when I get backed into that corner, I just... Usually I die. But that worked out pretty much flawlessly. Even though usually after I see the gods are enraged, that means next time I go to a holy mountain, I'm done for. But maybe with this perk and this shield that I have on this wand, maybe I'll get lucky and the Super Steve won't get me this time. I wonder how that's going. Ooh, okay. That was a little too fast. Ooh. Oh, that's why. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's pretty darn good. Okay, gold is 500 now. Ooh, kills the mana. That's very good. Oh yeah. You can be angry with me all you want. Gods can be angry with me all they want. I kind of wonder. No, it's not a marketable difference, so we'll just go with the Going with the higher damage. Actually, let's do that. Yeah, okay. Okay. Actually throw that guy out. Into the vault we go. Ooh, some more extra health. Let's go. Should have been paying attention. Oh no. Oh, well. This is the end of the run. Maybe. Okay. Objective now. Ooh. Oh. Cool. Oh, there we go. I've never been able to successfully do that, but I mean, hey, you're well on your way to the godliest of god runs right there, brother. You know what? We're just going down. No! No! Got frozen. Alright. Next game. I think my personal best was 300, or no, it was around 400 HP. GG. That is definitely right. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go use the bathroom and fill up my water bottle and stuff real quick. Alright. Let's do this thing. I feel it in my bones. I'm gonna win this one. I'm just joking. Let's Sweet. Love to see it. Love to see it. Don't love seeing that though. Stay away from me, frogs. Nope. Not you, swamp. Not you, swampy guy. I'm gonna go see if the bridge boss cheese works. That's not bad at all. Oh, it's been going pretty good. I'll be honest, I've been kind of focusing hard. Making sure that I don't do something stupid with pollen. Because right now that's kind of my best digging resource. Haven't gotten anything super crazy yet this run. In fact, it's actually been a pretty bland run. Nothing, none of the spells that I really like. No wands have been all that good. But, you know, getting by, getting by. How's your run doing? I assume with 6,000 health, it's actually pretty hard to screw up. Unless you're doing like Sun Quest or something like that. Got it. Oh, yeah, yep. Yeah, that's, I mean, I do like that aspect. That, like, lava and fire do more damage the more health you have. But I also hate it at the same time. Good mechanic, but kind of bites you in the butt just as often as it's nice to be able to, you know, use that to your advantage. Hmm. Yeah, no. You, like, when I see like 2 or 3 damage per tick, it's like, oh, that's not that bad. When you see the 40, it just hurts. It just, like, it does, like, proportionally, it doesn't hurt you more, but it hurts me more. I know that. Every time I see that amount of damage, I'm always like, ooh, no, please. No. Mm. Well, here we go. All right. Another death. Not a bad monster. Is that pheromone? Good flask start. Wow. I like it. Alright, not off to a great start. We'll be fine. It was one of the here. I can never remember the name of these guys. No, not that guy. It's one of I think it was an Uko or the Pakasuko. Whichever ones are down in the snowy biome. I got electrocuted, and then I got glue balled, and then I got electrocuted again. But it's all good. I wasn't finding anything worth a darn anyway. Like, I didn't even have a... I think the best spell that I had for damage... Yeah, I don't mind the fire guys, it's I'm pretty sure it was the lightning guy, because I got, like, stunned, I didn't get frozen. But, yeah, it's always the lightning guys that get me. I shouldn't say always, but usually when it's down in that area. Either that or the turrets. If I can't find a good enough wand, it's usually the turrets that get me. And not finding wands or finding stuff that can do damage beyond a spark bolt didn't help my cause at all. But not every run's gonna have good luck. for me? Come on. oofed on my guy. I think it was yesterday was the first time that I experienced a Hisi base flood. And it sucked. Don't get me wrong. But it was kind of interesting just to see where all the, like, just how much snow there actually is down there. No, get away from me, turret. Dang. Not getting anything. Let's see if I can make it through the Hisi base. The way it looks, I don't think it's gonna happen. Ooh, yep. Those rocket turrets that move, those ones are so difficult. No, I ended up not being able to. Oh, well. Hey, at least I made it to Hisi that time. There are plenty of times when I'm playing that I can't even make it past the the um, the cold caverns. Alright, and just to let you know, this will probably be my last game that I stream tonight. I gotta go do some other stuff, go make dinner and such, but I'll be on for a little while longer, depending on how quickly this one goes. If I die, before I get to Hisi, I'll probably run another one. But if I die in Hisi, I'll probably just hop off. I always think the game's out to get me. It's always out to get you. It's the grand conspiracy, my brother. The game's always out to get you. Because if you win, then the game loses, right? So, the game's always got to make sure that you know where you stand. It's got to make sure that you know that you're not all that cheese. Come on. Ah, yeah. Hi, guy. Dead. Oh, wow. I don't think I've ever seen that before. A whole vat of polymorph. That's really funny. I'm gonna have to start using that one. The gods hate us. They want to punish us for our sins. That's really good. That's really good. Anytime someone asks me about Noita now, I'm gonna say that. Like, oh, you die so often, why is that? That's because the devs, the gods of this game, hate me, and they want to punish me for playing the game. That's amazing. Oh. Noita. Another always cast add model on a 1-second wand. You know what? Let's see. What perks do we got? Permanent shield? Alright. Come on, statue. Let's get into place. Jeez, the statue's going everywhere besides where I want it to go. Oh, perfect. Rip Steve, yep. I'm not usually the best at getting him dead, but I've been getting better with practice, you know? I still have a little bit of a hard time when, you know, I'm going to be going into the next holy mountain. Getting the timing down on the statue when you're on the other side, but I'm getting there. It's so nice having that extra money, too. Jeez. Leave me alone. Quit stun locking me. usually a death sentence whenever I pick up a wand like this, but I can't resist. Oh. Alright. I died a little too early for that one. I'll do one more run. I knew I was gonna die when I picked up the lightning wand, but I can't resist it. I love the lightning spells so much. They're so much fun. Yeah, the one-shot wands, like, don't get me wrong, the ones that go burr is always fun. But it's fun to be able to just look at something and go, you're deleted now. Like, oh, you think you're so strong. Lightning bolt. Even though I've never had any luck with the electricity wands because I always end up dying. So I'm like, oh, I'll be fine, and then I accidentally, click a little too close to myself and end up exploding myself. guy. Kablee. Yeah. Nice. Oh, you turd. Oh. Yep. Yep. When you play Noita, you figure out that you're pretty bad at, well, you know, to stay humble, I should say. But I think I'm gonna call it there. Thanks for joining my stream today. I'll probably play tomorrow, and maybe I'll see if you come back on or if anyone joins in. See what you guys want to see. Have a good rest of your night. God bless you, brother. Peace.